So, friends, now England has won the fifth test match against India and leveled the series. And telling you honestly, I'm not surprised by this result. If you see my preview video, also, I had predicted in favor of England. And even when India had taken the advantage, the upper hand on the first 3 days, even then I was expecting a comeback from England in the final innings. And I'll be discussing with you what are the possible reasons why India lost this test match and why England won this test match. So, first of all, you have to give credit to the England team. It is always easy to find shortcomings in the other team, in the Indian team when they have lost, but you also have to give credit to the other team. England team has been playing really good cricket and they proved to be the better team this time round. Last year, when India was playing this series, India had taken the lead of 2-1 and India were the better team. But now, this year, England is the better team and they have proved it. And even before this series, when England won against New Zealand by 3-0, many Indian fans were not giving credit to England team. They were saying that New Zealand bowling is weaker than Indian bowling and Indian team is a completely different thing. And England won't be able to repeat the same thing against India. But now England has done the same thing, and you have to give credit to their captain Ben Stokes, their batsman Root, Bairstow, and also their new coach Brendan McCullum. So England team under the captaincy of Ben Stokes and under McCullum, they are looking like a completely different team. They are showing a lot of spark. So here I would also like to congratulate England team for winning this test match. They played really good cricket. And many of the fans and analysts are feeling that India should have given a bigger target of around 450. I can tell you that even if India had given a target of 450, England still would have chased it. You see, England chased it down quite comfortably in the end. They were only 3 wickets down. So even if they had a target of 450, they would have chased it down. There was a lot of time left. And this is not a good excuse if you say that pitch had become flat on the fifth day because any target of over 300 runs is always difficult to chase in the final innings. And you have to give credit to the England team. And while doing it, they made a few records also. Like this was the highest run chase against India in Test match cricket. And also, this was the highest run chase by England against any team in Test match cricket. England made also another record that this was the first time any team had chased 250 plus runs in the final innings for four successive Test matches. So they did it 3 times in a row against New Zealand and now against India. So this is also a world record by England. And then another factor which worked in favor of England and against India was the form, the great form of Joe Root and Johnny Bairstow. They were in really prolific form. And can you say such a thing about any of the Indian batsmen? None of the Indian batsmen has been in such a great form. Maybe you can say to some extent Rishabh Pant. But Rishabh Pant is a wicketkeeper batsman, and also Rishabh Pant is still behind Joe Root and Bairstow when you talk about their performance this year, because Pant was not exactly in that good a form in the previous series against South Africa. And now this year in 2022, Johnny Bairstow is the leading run scorer in Test match cricket and Joe Root is at number 2. And also in terms of centuries, they are at number 1 and number 2. Bairstow has scored 6 centuries this year and Root is at number 2 with 5 centuries. And also, there were few more records which both of them made in their partnership. Like their fourth wicket partnership was the highest fourth wicket partnership against India. And also, this fourth wicket partnership between Root and Bairstow was the highest by England against any team. And Joe Root now has the most Test centuries, that is 9 against India. So, with these type of performances, these type of record and form of 2 players, 2 batsmen, it is always going to be difficult for the other team, which was India here. So England clearly proved to be the superior team this time, and that's why they won the Test match. And now let's talk a bit about the Indian team also. For Indian team, I think the one thing which went against was the captaincy of Bumrah. Bumrah was captaining the team for the first time, and even though he captained really well for the first 3.5 days, but on the other hand, for the other team, there was Ben Stokes, who has been a lucky captain, who has luck with him also, and team has really transformed under Ben Stokes. And under Bumrah, somewhere India lost their path in the last 1.5 days, and they lost the match. But I would say it won't be good to only blame Bumrah on day 5 and day 4 that he set defensive fields, because there were other people also, other players also. Virat Kohli was there to guide him. What was he doing? Why didn't he guide him to make more attacking field? And also Rahul Dravid as a coach was there. Why was he not guiding Jasprit Bumrah? You see, Brandon McCullum was giving signals to his team when Shreyas Iyer was batting to ball him short pitch at his chest level, and that worked. But there was, I think, there was no such initiative by our coach Rahul Dravid, and also nothing from Virat Kohli. Virat Kohli was just acting aggressively and arrogantly on the field, but he should have guided Jasprit Bumrah how to set the fields and how to be more attacking in his captaincy. Then another factor which went against India was the form of India's top 5 batsmen. Even though Pujara scored a half century, but I would still say that even he should have scored more runs. He was well set. And after scoring a half century, he should have made a century, a big one. And the ball on which he got out was not exactly a wicket-taking delivery. And rest all of the 4 batsmen, they failed in both the innings. Gill, Vihari, Shreyas Iyer, Virat Kohli. So when your top 5 is not contributing much, and on the other hand, you have in the other team 2 players who are at number 1 and number 2 in the year for scoring most number of runs in Root and Bairstow, then you can't really expect to win. So India maybe needs to now look for some other options, like another opener instead of Gill. And also Virat Kohli, he should look to play domestic cricket, Ranji Trophy, to get back in form. And then I would say one turning point of the match was when India lost it, was when Hanuma Vihari dropped the crucial catch of Johnny Bairstow. Even though one dropped catch doesn't decide the match, but Johnny Bairstow was the man in form. And England were not really in a comfortable situation at that time. And if one more wicket had fallen, then Ben Stokes would have come. And after that, it was Sam Billings, and England still had to make another, I think they were still around 260, 270 runs behind. And things would have been completely different if Hanuma Vihari would have taken that catch of Bairstow in the slips. I think in that case, India would have won if Hanuma Vihari had taken the catch of Bairstow. And then one more factor which went against India was the bowling of Shardul Thakur and Ravindra Jadeja. Here I would not include Mohammad Siraj, because I think Siraj bowled quite well in the first innings. He took 4 wickets. But Thakur in both the innings, he was looking completely out of practice. No, he had no speed, no swing, and he even failed with the bat. So Thakur really proved to be a liability in this match. And then Jadeja, even though he made a century, but he was playing as a batsman. With the ball, he was completely ineffective. So India were literally playing with 3 bowlers only. And that puts pressure on your team. But anyways, the final result of the series is still 2-2. So it is a drawn series, and even though India lost, but I would still say that India also played quite good cricket in the overall series. So well played to both the teams, India and England. England, congratulations for winning this test match, but also congratulations for India for leveling the series in England. This is also a really good achievement to have the scoreline at 2-all in a test series in England. And now India will be playing T20 series and ODI series in England, and I'll be talking about that in my next video. So friends, let's hope that India can perform better in the upcoming ODI and T20 series against England and give something to cheer about to the Indian fans.